Welcome to the Madden Podcast Special Edition Series where I go over each and every 2024 NCAA Men's College Basketball Tournament. This podcast will be dedicated to the Mountain West Conference Tournament, which will begin on Wednesday, March 13th. And this will be the 26th of 32 shows. So we only have a couple more to go. So first round will be Wednesday the 13th, quarterfinals the 14th, which is Thursday. The semifinals will be Friday the 15th, and the championship game will be Saturday the 16th. So we're going to go over the seedings and do the bracket and then do miscellaneous. So without further ado, here we go. The Mountain West. Your one seed in this tournament with a record of 26-5 overall, 14-4 in conference play, the Utah State Aggies. And number 18 in the country. The two seed in this tournament, 26-6 overall, 13-5 in conference play. Number 23 in the country, the Nevada Wolf Pack. The number 3 seed in this tournament, 22-9 overall, 13-5 in conference play, the Boise State Broncos. Your 4 seed in this tournament, 19-11 overall, 12-6 in conference play, the UNLV Runnin' Rebels. Your 5 seed in this tournament, 22-9 overall, 11-7 in conference play, the San Diego State Aztecs. Your 6 seed in this tournament, 22-9 overall, 10-8 in conference play, the New Mexico Lobos. Your 7th seed in this tournament, 22-9 overall, 10-8 in conference play, the Colorado State Rams. Your 8th seed in this tournament, 15-16 overall, 8-10 in conference play, the Wyoming Cowboys. Your 9th seed in this tournament, 11-20 overall, 4-14 in conference play, the Fresno State Bulldogs. Your 10th seed in this tournament, 9-22 overall, 2-16 in conference play, the San Jose State Spartans. And your 11th seed, 9-21 overall, 2-16 in conference play, the Air Force Falcons. This is the most loaded the Mountain West has ever been. So let's get to it with projections. So first round begins Wednesday, March 13th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. 9 seed Fresno State, 8 seed Wyoming. Neither of these teams are very good, but one team I think is significantly better than the other, and that's Wyoming. Led by a really good player, and Sam Griffin. Fresno has been better in past years. They're really not great this year. I project Wyoming 3.8, total 143, and 17-20, so I'm going to advance Wyoming. Second of 3 first-round games, 10 seed San Jose State, 17 Colorado State. San Jose State took a big step back after having a good year last year. Myron Amey Jr., good player. And they have a really good player in Isaiah Stevens, averaging over 17 a game with Colorado State. I have Colorado State 13 after 143, 9-10, so I'm going to advance Colorado State. In the last of 3 first-round games, 11 seed Air Force, 16 New Mexico. My lines New Mexico 15.3 total 146 and 3 fixed. New Mexico is way better than Air Force. Jamal Mashburn, really solid player. So I think New Mexico's going to advance. Quarterfinals, 8 seed Wyoming, 1 seed Utah State. Utah State is so good, very loaded. Probably the player of the year and great Ozabor. One of my favorite names in the sport. Averaging almost an 18-9. I project Utah State 9.7, so I'm going to advance them. Second of 4 quarterfinals, 5 seed San Diego State, 4 seed UNLV. This is a great game. A great game. San Diego State obviously went to the title game last year. You could argue they have the conference player of the year in Jadeon Lee, over 20 a game, over 8 boards. In UNLV on their home court, technically, very well-balanced team, led by Deaton Thomas, averaging over 13 a game. I project UNLV actually as a favorite by 3/10. If this game wasn't at Thomas and Mack, say if it was at Ball Arena where the Denver Nuggets play, San Diego State's favored. Or even in Utah, like at the Jazz, the Vivint Smart Arena where the Jazz play. But no, it has to be at Thomas and Mack. So it's kind of like St. John's in that way for UNLV, playing at home in the tournament for their conference. So I project UNLV by 3/10 to the 140 and 13/20. So San Diego State will be preying on the bubble. Third and fourth quarterfinal game, 7 seed Colorado State and 2 seed Nevada. This is a really good game. Nevada has an awesome player in Jared Lucas, averaging almost 18 a game and almost 3 boards. Wouldn't surprise me, the winner of this game at all. I have Nevada 2.7, so I have Nevada advancing. And the last of 4 quarterfinal games, 6 seed New Mexico and 3 seed Boise State. Boise State and Leon Rice. This is going to be 3 tournaments in a row, assuming they make it. Tyson Dagenhart, averaging almost 17 a game. For them, I only have Boise by 9/10, so I'm going to advance Boise. Semifinals, 2 games, 4 seed UNLV, 1 seed Utah State. UNLV is a well-balanced team, and I think if they win this game, they have a compelling argument for an at-large. But the best player on the court is Azabor of Utah State, and I have Utah State only by 3/10 because, of course, UNLV's home. If this was at the Jazz Arena, this would be Utah State 3.3, and they would have a lot of fans in the building. But anyway, I have Utah State advancing. In the second of 2 semifinal games, 3 seed Boise State, 2 seed Nevada. 2 awesome teams. You have Degenhart and you have Lucas. I think Lucas is a better player. And I think Nevada, I think Nevada's going to win, and I have Nevada 1.3, so I'm going to advance Nevada. And the championship game, the matchup I feel like most people want, 2 seed Nevada, 1 seed Utah State. I think this is awesome. You have Lucas on one side, and you have Osborne on the other. 2 great players. I just think Utah State's the deeper team. I have them projected only by 3/4. And actually, no, that's a mistake. I have Nevada by 3/4. I read that wrong. I think Lucas is the best guy in the court in this game. So, I stand corrected. So, I do not have Utah State by 3/4. I have Nevada by 3/4. So, therefore, I have the Nevada Wolfpack winning the 2024 Mountain West Conference Tournament. Nevada, I have getting the auto bid, and I think they're going to be a 7 seed, maybe an 8. But I'm going to say a 7 seed. I think that's what Nevada's earned. Utah State, I think, will be around the same number. Maybe a 6 seed. I think Utah State will be higher because they won the regular season title. I'm saying they're a 6. Nevada's a 7. Oof. I think Boise's in trouble if it loses to New Mexico. I think the winner of Boise, New Mexico, will be in Dayton. It's kind of like St. John Seton Hall in the Big East. I think the winner of that game will be in Dayton. I might just do a mock bracket for tomorrow's regular show to see where all these teams are. But at gunpoint, so I have Boise winning that game. So I think Boise will either be in Dayton or will be one of the 11 seeds. So UNLV, I think, has to beat Utah State for it to have an at-large case. San Diego State, I think, will get the benefit of the doubt, even if it loses this game to UNLV. But it would be better if they beat UNLV because then they're a lock. I think San Diego State's going to be a 10 or an 11. To me, a 10, I think they're going to get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt from last season. Resume, they lost to BYU. They beat St. Mary's. That's a big one over St. Mary's. They also Grand Canyon. I'm not going to kill them on that one because Grand Canyon will probably win the WAC tournament. They have a win over Gonzaga. San Diego State should absolutely be in. Stanford's irrelevant. UC Irvine, that's actually not a bad win. That's actually a good one. And in conference play, they have a win over UNLV. They lost to New Mexico, beat Nevada, lost to Boise, Lost to Colorado State. They just lost a lot of conference games. Nevada, they lost to Utah State. Not bad. So, Boise should absolutely be in. I think they're going to be a 10 seed, maybe an 11. But I'm going to say 10. New Mexico, I think they have to beat Boise. I really do. Like I said, I think the winner of that game probably goes to Dayton. So, one of those teams are going. I think there's a possibility they both are out, but I don't think both get in, if that makes sense. And Colorado State's going to get there. They have so many resume wins. Look at this. Louisiana Tech, not a bad CUSA team. Boston College, ACC team. Wright State, maybe it looked better back then. They beat Creighton. They beat Colorado. Both those teams should be in the tournament. They lost to St. Mary's by 3. Can't kill you on that. Washington stinks. Conference play. They have a win over New Mexico. They lost to Utah State. They lost to Boise. They beat UNLV. They lost to Nevada. They lost to Wyoming. That stings. They beat San Diego State. They beat Boise. They lost to San Diego State on the road. They beat Utah State at home, which was significant. They lost to New Mexico only by 2. They lost to UNLV on the road. They lost to Nevada by 3 at home. So Colorado State, I think, will be, I'm going to say they're like an 11-2. I'm going to say Colorado State's an 11, San Diego State's a 10. So this league is getting a lot of teams in. So, at gunpoint, Utah State will be a 6. Nevada, 7. Boise, Dayton. San Diego State, a 10. Colorado State, an 11, but it avoids Dayton. UNLV will be in the NIT. And I think that's the only school that will be in the NIT. Oh, and New Mexico. New Mexico will be in the NIT. I lied, sorry. New Mexico State and UNLV NIT. Or I should say the loser of, assuming Colorado State gets by, oh wait, God, if Colorado State loses to San Jose State, then a real conversation has to be had of whether they deserve to be in or not. Let's just assume New Mexico beats Air Force. The loser of New Mexico Boise will be in the NIT. And I don't think there's going to be any CBI teams, maybe Wyoming. I wouldn't rule that one out. I wouldn't rule out Wyoming for the CBI. Because they'll be 16 and 17, assuming they beat Fresno and lose to Utah State. So, Wyoming as a sneaky CBI candidate, but not 100% sure on it. All right, who has value to win this tournament? I think a few teams do. So, I think San Diego State's probably going to be the favorite. Yes, plus 240. New Mexico, Nevada, and Utah State are 5-1. Boise 7-1. UNLV's 8-1. Colorado State's plus 850. And then Wyoming, Fresno, San Jose State, and Air Force are all 250-1. I think any of the teams in single digits can win this tournament. Realistically. I have Nevada. They're 5-1. I think that has some value. But if not Nevada, then UNLV at 8-1, only because it's on their home gym. I think San Diego State's a little overvalued because of their big name school that they're kind of like the Florida Atlantic of this conference. I think both those teams are a little overrated because of what they did last year, especially Florida Atlantic. But it is what it is. I have Nevada winning this conference tournament. Most outstanding player of the tournament, I think it's going to obviously be Jared Lucas of Nevada, because I have Nevada winning this tournament. All right, coaches stuff. I do think that Danny Sprinkle will be the coach of the year in this conference, and I think that he has a chance to jump to a different school. Steve Alford's been amazing. I think he's kind of earned to be back in a power school. I really think he revitalized his career. And you could even say the same about Richard Pitino at New Mexico. Nico Medved of Colorado State has done a good job. I think he could jump. Brian Dutcher's had opportunities to jump. I feel like he's going to stick around at San Diego State until the right job comes along. Leon Rice, same thing at Boise. He's been there a long time. I think Kevin Kruger's done a great job this year at UNLV. This is one of their best teams. And then we talked about Pitino at New Mexico. Hot seat. I don't think Tim Miles is a hot seat guy because they were good last season, so I do not think it will be Tim Miles. Justin Hudson of Fresno State, I feel like, is a hot seat guy. Jeff Linder, that team underachieved, was it last year or the year before? Wyoming. And then Joe Scott, maybe. But to me, the hottest seat right now is Justin Hudson of Fresno. And they were bad last year, too. So, to me, Hudson's the coach on the hottest seat. All right, so there you have it for the Mountain West. Next up's a big one. And it's a fond farewell to the Pac-12.